I think it's unfortunate that when we do have vehicles that are available at a sub $20,000 price point, that they don't sell as well as we would think they should when we find ourselves as a nation in an affordability crisis for new and used vehicles.
All right, folks. March sees best new vehicle affordability in 45 months, but tariffs loom large. This comes by way of Cox Automotive. They track how many weeks worth of income it would take to purchase a vehicle. We saw our lowest level in many years. Now, at the same time, Santander, the financial institution, did a survey, and they found that many Americans plan to buy a car, think prices will go up, is what the survey found. Shocker. And Dad, we now have updated the fastest and slowest selling cars back on CarEdge.com. And two of the slowest selling cars in the United States right now are Mitsubishis. One is the Mirage G4 with a sub $20,000 price point that is going out of commission. The Eclipse Cross under $30,000. Really, you've got to be kidding me. Is best affordability ever. Okay, unfortunately, that's going away. Yeah. Americans are concerned about vehicle affordability, and then you've got a sub $20,000 Mitsubishi as your number 7 slowest selling car in the United States.
Well, apparently, people in the United States don't want to buy a brand new sub $20,000 car, I guess. But the wonderful thing was about that Santander survey, where people expect vehicle prices to go up. I guarantee you, dealership personnel reading that, they will see to it that your survey results come true, ladies and gentlemen. Even if the prices weren't going to go up, they'll see to it that they do.
So, Dad, what do you make of the fact that the Mirage is in here? Again, it's a sub $20,000 vehicle, and we track this. Just go to caredge.com/slowest or caredge.com/fastest, and you can actually check out in your state. So let me come here and go to Missouri, for example. You want to know what the slowest selling car is in Chesterfield, Missouri? You can pull that data up right here on caredge.com. But when we look nationwide, which is what we were looking at just a second ago, the Mitsubishi Mirage, Dad, sub $20,000 vehicle, and it's one of the slowest selling cars in America?
I think there's two things. One, most people have no idea it exists. It's not as if they advertise it. Hell, you think about it, it's not as if Mitsubishi really advertises much at all.
Yeah.
And two, perhaps the people who would want to buy it, who would have interest in buying it, don't have the credit to get approved for an automobile loan to buy it.
But we watched and we read the data over the past week, Dad. There's more approvals and more subprime approvals.
I get it. But, perhaps the people that are trying to get those are subprime.
They're what, Dad?
Sub?
The subprime?
Subprime. And where does your credit fall? Oh, I think I might be subprime. What the hell is that? Underground. I am underground. It is. So there could be any number of reasons for it. But I think it's unfortunate that when we do have vehicles that are available at a sub $20,000 price point, that they don't sell as well as we would think they should when we find ourselves as a nation in an affordability crisis for new and used vehicles.
Well, that's what the conundrum was, right? It's like the data from last month, best affordability we've had in 35 months. Survey says Americans are afraid of cars becoming more expensive and unaffordable.
Yes.
Looking at the slowest selling cars in the United States, why are there 2 Mitsubishis on the list? And now, just to switch gears for a second here, folks, we'll get a video up on the main channel, on the CarEdge channel. We did update the slowest selling vehicles. Again, just go to caredge.com/slowest, and this page will pop right up. And you can see here, Jaguar F-Pace has a 228 days supply nationwide. Porsche Taycan, 214 days supply. Audi A8, Genesis G90, Infiniti QX55, the Cadillac CT4, the Mitsubishi Mirage G4, Volkswagen ID4, Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, and the Hummer EV. It is interesting, Dad. All these days supply numbers are lower than they have been in prior months. I think indicative of some of the tightening happening here in the market.
Well, and the Audi A8, if there was only one available in the country, it still might be 187 or 197 day supply. There are certain vehicles that manufacturers produce that don't sell, and the Audi A8 was one of them, and is one of those. When I was with Acura, the RL, if we had two RLs on our lot, we had probably a 365-day supply of RLs. So there's just certain vehicles that are like boat anchors for dealerships, that they come in and the dealership knows it's there, and nobody looks at it. Nobody has any interest in it. The salespeople don't even give a damn about it.
Yep.
And so they know that the likelihood of somebody coming in and saying, gee, I really want to get an Audi A8 is pretty remote. Typically, the cash on the hood of an Audi A8 is astronomical because it's the only way they can sell.
Absolutely, Dad. Absolutely. I just clicked there just so you can see. This data is really good. You can look at all the vehicles for sale. You can even then click right here and see the current offers for that particular vehicle. You can see the finance incentives, the lease incentives, the cash incentives. Wow, big subvented money factor here. What is this on the Jaguar F-Pace? So anyway, folks, please go to caredge.com/slowest or caredge.com/fastest and reference all of this great data that we give away for FR.
Is it data or data?
Stellantis investors protest $26 million payout for their ex-CEO, Carlos Tavares. As you all know, Carlos Tavares was ousted from Stellantis. They're currently in the process of trying to find a new CEO. And Dad, I just want to read some of the comments here. Tavares' pay at Stellantis was an issue for years. I'm just going to read this.
Okay.
Stellantis has for years been getting pushback over Tavares' pay, which peaked at 36.5 billion euros in 2023. At the shareholder meeting 3 years ago, investors rejected his remuneration in a non-binding vote. His salary for 2024 is, quote, overly generous, Allianz Global Investors said. The vote at the general meeting, April 15th, also is non-binding. Quote, despite engagement efforts, responses from Stellantis failed to alleviate concerns, the group said in a statement. Quote, there are ongoing concerns about the Remuneration Committee's actions and oversights. Another proxy firm, Institutional Shareholder Services, advised to vote against a proposal that would raise the amount the company can pay out via long-term incentives, saying Stellantis has already been granting its top executives, quote, excessive pay for years. Quote, it is unclear on the basis of what considerations the company believes that another increase is, quote, essential to be able to recruit a CEO. Just reading this, Dad, anyway, this guy's got $26 million coming his way from getting fired. And these investors have been eaten at Stellantis for years about how much they pay their executives.
And you know, one of my favorite sayings is nothing succeeds quite like failure. And apparently nothing pays quite as well as failure. So yeah, but hell, Mike Budenholzer, former coach of our beloved Phoenix Suns, collected $40 million over the next 4 years. I want that job. I'll be there. They can pay me, I don't know, $2 million a year for 5 years, and they fire me after one. I'm good. It is just at this particular point in time. I will say this: whoever they hire as a CEO, they are probably going to have to overpay somebody really good to get them to come to what is now a failing company. You know, they paid somebody really, really well to run the company into the ditch. Now they're going to have to pay somebody even more to get them out of the ditch. It's I guess pretty much the way that major corporations work. You know, Mary Barra from GM, she had a tough year. She's only got compensated $29.5 million. You know, the Rollinson from Lucid, you know, he was making $400 million a year on a company that was losing billions. So it is, if you aspire to anything, Zach, aspire to lead as the CEO one of these major auto manufacturers, because they pay really well for, well, mediocre results. You need a new plan, okay, to get that job. I'm just saying.